Welcome, everyone, to Dead Talk Live. I am your host, Viz, and our special guest today is writer-director Demián Rugna, whose new movie, When Evil Lurks, is now streaming on Shudder, AMC Plus, as well as all the other major streaming platforms. Demián, thank you so much for being our guest today. Congratulations on the movie. How are you doing?
Fine. Very glad to be here in your talk show, Dead Pack Live. And please, to all the audience, sorry for my English. I will try to do the best.
Oh, like I told you before we went live, your English sounds great. Thank you again for being here. So let's get to it. Now, this movie has been out for slightly over 2 months. Are you happy with the reception your movie has gotten so far?
Look, we have done with 670 theaters in the States,
Mm-hmm.
which means a lot for an Argentinian movie
Oh,
with
yeah.
subtitles. Um, and try to imagine we are now in the release on theaters here in Argentina. We broke the record for an Argentinian horror movie here. It was the double of the audience in theaters. We have we're gonna have the release in all Latin America,
Mm-hmm.
and then gonna be in Europe for and theater. So it's a lot. It is not a movie from a big studio. You
Yeah.
must know it is a small movie. We received the support of Shudder, but it's still a low budget
Yeah,
movie.
well, it's an independent film, and like I said, I tell this to a lot of my guests. Your film can be a low budget film, but if you've got the right story, which you obviously did, and you put the right people in place, you have a movie like you do, When Evil Lurks. Now, you mentioned Shudder. Did Shudder come on board before you started shooting? Did they like the movie after it was done and then they signed it? When did Shudder come on board?
Yeah, they came before
Mm-hmm.
shutting, because we needed a gap to reach 40 days to shooting. Shudder gave us this gap to get that goal. They were from the beginning, and which is really good. They give me all the freedom to do this movie, so they don't say anything about the script. They allow me to be sorry for Francesca. Shut up. It's my dog. And well, they support me from the beginning to make this
Nice.
movie.
Nah, that's nice. That is so awesome. And to have a company like AMC Shutter backing you up and to give you a Halloween premiere as well, that could only just, it must be amazing. So let's get into the story. You wrote, you directed this. Where did the inspiration for When Evil Lurks come from?
I guess all the time on all my movies, I have a not just one inspiration. Probably is one, two, three things that they are roaming in my head before I write. And the first of the that influenced me was the we said here in Argentina fumigated towns
Mm-hmm.
means there's a lot of field with the plantation that is contaminated by pesticides,
Mm-hmm.
and the family grow with cancer because of that. In the middle of nothing, poor people who live
Yeah.
in the poverty and work in those fields. That I make, I take that idea and change instead of people with illness, make a guy with a demon
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of nothing, in the middle of poverty, and what is happening with this town after realize that. And another of that came from the reality to make this movie was the how the fascism ideas are growing around the world all the
Yeah.
time, and how the media is changing the point of view of the people to pushing them
Yeah.
to make hurt themselves
Hmm.
and the people which they love. I guess all of that reality around that surround me, I took and I made this story.
Interesting. Now, I don't speak Spanish, so I had to rely on the subtitles. The possessed people in the movie, according to the subtitles, are referred to as rotten. Now, is that an accurate translation from what you
No,
wanted? Because
no.
for us, reading it in English, it says rotten. So what does it mean? What was the meaning you were going for?
Look, we the first we used was incarnate. Incarnate is I don't know if it
Yeah,
exists in English. Okay,
yeah,
but we discussed a lot about how could be the best, the accurate um, word for that in English. But the real word is in Spanish is encarnado and embichado. Embichado means bagged, as
yeah.
you have a bag in your side, as you have a something growing in
Attached.
inside you.
Yeah, attached to you.
That yeah, inside your body,
Yeah.
bagged, and incarnate is what's the another. But the I guess Shutter decided to use Rodden, which I'd say it's not the same. But if you prefer it, I may agree. So go ahead.
Well, I just thought it was interesting. And, dealing with subtitles, uh, spanning different languages, the actual meaning doesn't come through all the time. So I'm glad I asked you because that is going to clear a lot of stuff up for people who have not watched it yet. Now,
Yeah.
in Argentina, using the local cultural and religious background, if someone is thought of to be possessed by a demon, what would be the normal term used? What would be the equivalent
Uh,
term that you guys would use?
possess is
Possessed.
yeah, but I invented this mythology.
Hmm.
I mean, I invented the idea of this Rodden, this baguette guy. But we used to say possessed. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Now, you don't waste any time getting into the story. Instead of giving us the characters and then slowly building up their backstory, you chose the approach of getting right into it, going straight 100 miles per hour, and letting the story of the characters sort of build in as the movie progresses. What led you to tell this story that way?
Yeah, because I try to privilege the idea of okay, let's move forward.
Yeah.
As I did in Terrify. Terrify was my previous movie,
Mm-hmm.
which there's not a lot of explanation of about the characters. You if you read interline, you know more about the characters, but I prefer to give the to put the audience in a mood of tension all the time. And if I feel that I over explain where if they come from or where who is this guy in the past, what is his goal, and to be explicit on that, for me, I decrease the piece
Yeah.
on this mood that I want to share. And as I did in the previous movie, I guess I did in all my movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to push you as audience to okay, don't stop here. Don't stop. Move forward, move forward. I will kick your ass, but move forward. You don't need a lot of this
No.
character. Probably for a lot of people needs. Oh, I want to know more about these people. I want to know more. I give you enough.
Yeah.
I need you looking the tension. I need you. I need you to. I don't know yeah, to enter in this mood. If I tell more than what I need, probably I break the mood.
And we'll get into some of that as we go on because you definitely do throw the audience for some loops as the story progresses. But staying on the demonic possession for a minute longer, and you explained how you wanted your portrayal to be. I saw it like taking elements from different stuff, like zombie movies. In this demonic possession, the possession is like a virus, okay, and it's spreading across this small town, and it wants to spread like a zombie virus. Was that partly an influence for you?
Mm, I don't think so.
Not the
That the
zombie whole
zombie.
thing, but the whole virus of the demonic
Yeah,
spreading like a
I,
virus.
yeah. The point is, I wrote it before pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
which means if you see the movie, you probably say, okay, this is a COVID movie, but I wrote it before,
Yeah.
and but yes, I'm agreed. It if you compare with the COVID, there's people that doesn't affect
Yeah.
the virus. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't affect the COVID, but you already have it. You already have the virus, but
Yeah.
it make nothing with you. It happened the same with this demon. But anyway, this demon is taking your information as a hacker, and they take your information and then use your information in your head against you because he cannot control you, but
Mm-hmm.
he can uh, push you
Mm-hmm.
to do what he wants.
Ah, interesting, interesting. And you mentioned demon. So this is something that's not really answered in the movie. So are we to think that it's really one demon throughout this whole film, or is it up to the audience to decide, is it one demon, is it all the demons in hell? What's your take on that?
Yeah, for me, the demon is in this movie is abstract.
Okay.
It probably happened in a lot of heads, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the same demon. It's the same demon trying to manipulate all the heads. That's why it's probably a confuse, make a confusion, but it's as a god. I mean, there's one god
Yeah.
and everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's the
Okay.
same. This demon is everywhere
Everywhere.
and spreading
Okay.
in the heads.
Gotcha. There's an amazing scene with a little girl and the family's dog. We're not going to give anything away, but that is a great scene, and it shows you as a filmmaker sort of stepping out of the normal filmmaker boundaries, not afraid to touch on some taboo subjects involving children and whatnot. How did you picture that scene, and were you happy with how it turned out?
Well, yes. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy with the result. I had a bigger expectative because I planned that entire scene, with a one shot,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't do it because the dog,
Was not
in some way,
cooperating. Yeah.
it's not cooperating. Also, the kid in the same scene, but I'm really happy because it works anyway. I feel it's similar than what I planned, and yes, it was a lot of planification in previous 6 months, thinking and how to do it, and talking with people and asking with VFX, with effects, with the standard effects, with trainer, with dogs, talking with dogs. Also, was a lot of work to do that.
Now, Pedro is the main character in the movie, played by Ezekiel Rodriguez.
Yep.
Pedro is a mysterious character that we learn about as the film progresses. Did Ezekiel have a lot of questions as the shooting went along as to how you wanted Pedro to be portrayed? Or were you and Ezekiel on the same page right from the beginning on the character of Pedro.
Yeah, well, I don't want to spoil, but the idea from the beginning was he's escaping from a demon,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, he's escaping by his own demon.
Mm.
And his own demon is as strong as the real demon.
Yeah.
When I started to work with Ezekiel, I wrote 2 pages of his background life, um, talking about his past
Mm-hmm.
and why he was outside of his town for 4 years, and he returned after 4 years, and why, and that why I'm trying to do not be too explicit in the movie and
Mm-hmm.
just give to the audience some clue and give and to do not overestimate the audience. I don't know if in English is okay, but I guess the audience is more smart that
Yeah.
we know, and that the big studios are trying to. When you work for a big studio, you have a lot of people talking about what we need to be clear because we need all comprehension for this movie,
Yeah.
and that's why probably this audience or whenever Lurks audience love in this movie because you are I'm not too explicit to I'm explicit to make violence but not to explain everything.
Yeah. Exactly. I totally
Yes,
get it. I totally get it. And the audience will fill in stuff that's left up for the audience to fill in. I mean, and for a lot of people, me included, I love that. I love the fact that not everything is given to me on a silver platter, and there is some stuff left up to interpretation. Pedro's brother in the movie is even a bigger mystery. Now, the one question I have for you regarding Pedro's brother, was he in the movie as sort of just someone for Pedro to interact with? Or in your mind, does his brother serve a bigger purpose?
oh, nice question. um for
Because he
for me,
is really mysterious. We don't learn that much about him. And I was just curious, is he there as sort of somebody looking out for Pedro, or does he have a deeper role, a deeper meaning?
no, he has a deeper role. I guess if I understand, it is I mean, this movie has a lot of guilt. This is one of the theme. It's one of the I mean, it's one of the things what I say when you see when see the movie, the
Yeah.
guilt. And his
People's
brother,
demons and their guilt. Yeah.
yeah, and Jimmy has his guilt for something, and but he's the minor brother, and he makes everything that Pedro asked to make because
Mm-hmm.
he's a big brother.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they hide something. He hides something all the time, and as all the characters in this movie, all the characters has hidden something.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a lot of guilt in this. They make a lot of mistakes in the past, and even from the beginning, it starts with
Yeah.
the mistake that commit the demon hunter, and then the mistake that commit the poor family to hide the kid. The mistake, this is neglect all the time, and this and it is a reason because the demon is here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guilt and mistake, and I guess Chimmy has one.
Yeah.
Chimmy has a powerful mistake in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't give to the audience too explicit.
Yeah.
But even if you see the movie, you realize that.
Exactly. Now, before we go, I want to ask you about my favorite scene in the movie, and you'll know what I'm talking about. The scene with Ruiz, the goats, and his wife. It's actually sort of the poster of the movie. I love that scene so much because I did not see what happened coming at all, and it took me by shock. Really big surprise. How long did it take for you to figure out that sequence from Ruiz going to see what's going on with the goats to how it ended up? Again, we're not giving any spoilers away, but how long did it take you to conceive all those sequence of events and bring them together?
Yeah, well, it's strange. Well, to conceive that, it's a lot of work in the previous, a lot of work to make the puppets, make two realistic puppets, even to know how to work with goats, which
Yeah.
means the goats are crazy, and it's real. We deal with 150 goats that they don't want to work with us in the movie. And well, for planification was a lot of planification. When I wrote it, I guess I wrote it in 15 minutes. Just the inspiration, I wrote it and say, okay, this is okay. But after to make it real, it was a lot of stress
Oh
because
yeah, I can imagine.
I had just one day to shoot all the entire sequence, and the sun was changing all the time. The goat doesn't allow to work with us, and even
And the
I had
goat
a
was
lot of
so critical to that scene. What the goat does is so important, and just
yeah.
how you were able to get it to do what it did. I mean, that's to be applauded right there.
I I guess I I do it with the smart ideas to make um, to move the goats, and then with the trainer, and then erase frame by frame the trainer,
Hmm.
and make it the magic move of the movies real in post production. A lot of post production are in the just movie, just erasing the people and erasing the cables. But
Frame
yeah,
by frame, it's tedious. Yeah, I know.
a
It's very
lot of work.
tedious.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
came out fantastic, Damien. You did an
Thank you.
amazing job. Again, thank you, Damien, so much for joining us today. I really enjoyed our chat. Everyone watching this, the movie is called When Evil Lurks. If you have a Shutter or an AMC Plus subscription, it's right there. You can watch it on Shutter AMC Plus, or it can be rented or bought on your streaming platform of choice. You're a horror fan like I am, you're definitely going to want to check out this movie. It's going to keep you on the edge of your seats from start all the way to the ending. And even the ending is going to throw you for a loop in itself. So, Damien, congrats again. And on the success of When Evil Lurks, not only that, it sounds like it's just getting started with a lot more releases coming up in Europe and whatnot. Thank you to our audience again. On behalf of Damien and myself, stay safe and stay walking. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.